Hello everyone, my name is Inari, and I'm going to talk about this character design that I'm currently working on. I created this design for my Dungeons & Dragons campaign. She's a mage shopkeeper in a Mesoamerican-inspired kingdom. Her personality is very elegant and flamboyant. I started with a few quick sketches to work out her outfit concept. I wanted her to read clearly as a witch, so I knew that I wanted her to have a big hat. I played with some different clothing styles to try to work out how she would feel. The one in the big dress has a clear voodoo priestess vibe, which I liked, but the kingdom she's from is a dense jungle, so I decided to keep her clothing light and sparse, which would also add to her alluring nature. Once I finalized the design, I redrew her into the figure drawings that I drew. I really liked the pose on the bottom left because it was dynamic, so I decided to use that one for my final illustration. I laid out the outline with the goal of having a dynamic pose and perspective. I kinda botched the perspective a bit, but hopefully the pose kept enough of that dramatic feel. I've been taking a lot of lessons on the fundamentals, and at the time I made this, I was working on lines, so I really prioritize having deliberate line weight and line quality. Since her arm reaches over in a way I've never drawn before, I used a photo of myself along with my initial reference to get the anatomy just right. I positioned the feathers as a point of rhythm to align with the hat but not stand out too much. I added some final lay-ins for the outlines so everything would look right. My focal points were the face and hands, and I used them to guide my viewer's eye throughout the piece. I finished my rough sketch and began sketching in the final line work. Once I had the whole thing drawn, I marked out the focal points in the painting and worked on adding my line weight while cleaning up the outline. While I'm working on this piece, let's talk a bit more about my D&D world. The kingdom she's from is basically this mage city, and it has a magocracy which also heads the school of the wizard's trainer. I designed it as vastly more high-tech fantasy than the rest of my campaign, with these floating platforms and these singing bowl doors, and with these giant arcane crystals that are used by the kingdom for sort of annual Met Gala that the mages host every year. I wanted to have a Mesoamerican flavor to tie into my indigenous heritage. Each member of the Mage Society has tattoos denoting their rank. They go up from the body, and the more visible that they are on the face, the higher up you are. The tattoos that cross her nose show that she's a pretty high-ranking mage. The hair on the right side didn't look right, so I redid it. that done, on to the values. I set the background to a darker neutral gray. Changing the color of your background from pure white allows you to put down values based on how you want your drawing to look. I wanted to render this piece, so I changed the outline to a deep sepia to give it an interest and meld in with their skin tone. I marked out where the light and shadows going to be. Positioned the light source going up from below because I knew that if I used the top-down light, the hat would block most of the light. I spent a good while adjusting the lights and shadows and how the light reflected on the different materials, like her skin, her hair, and the metal decoration on her hat. Next is the colors. I knew from the get-go I wanted to use more indigos and violets. I used some contemporary colors of bright gold and creamy yellow to make the character pop out. Once I had the colors I wanted, I made some final thoughts and I changed the background to a nice blue that felt softened the entire piece and made it stand out. I actually changed the color of the outline on some of the clothes to match the colors I used for it. And she's done. I'm really proud of this piece. I've been continuing to challenge my skills and develop my ability to create full illustrations, and I felt I did a pretty good job. I learned a lot about how to position the figure and use pose composition and line weight to make the figure eye-catching. I also learned I still have lots to work on with my perspective and light, so I feel this piece was a perfect opportunity to see how well my studying so far has been going. I still haven't come up with a name for her, so if you guys have any ideas, feel free to leave them in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I hope you look out for more videos from me in the future. This is Inari, signing out.